Welcome to the ancient empire of the Achaemenids, founded by King Cyrus the Great in 1550 BC. He was the first Persian king and governed one of the largest empires of the ancient world. Stretching from Egypt to India, their empire controlled a vast and diverse population for over 200 years. Their empire's success was largely due to its powerful military, including their infamous regiment, which combined skilled infantry, cavalry, archers, and elite troops, known as the Immortals, a 10,000 soldier strong regiment, also acting as King Cyrus's personal royal guard. Persian commanders used effective warfare tactics such as rapid troop movement, strong communication, networks, psychological warfare, and local allies to maintain control over their own territories. These military strengths, combined with effective leadership, allowed the Achaemenid Empire to remain a dominant force in the ancient world for more than 2 centuries, leaving their mark across the lands of modern-day Middle East. The Persian army relied on disciplined training, practical weapons, and carefully organized combat roles. The source image shows Persian soldiers carrying spears, shields, and wearing light but provocative clothing, which suggests that they were trained for mobility and endurance rather than heavy hand-to-hand combat. Persian warriors likely trained to fight in formation, hold defensive positions, and use ranged weapons such as bows effectively, which made the army flexible in battle. This kind of training was important because the Achaemenid Empire ruled over a huge area and needed soldiers who could quickly respond to different threats. The image also shows how Persian soldiers were presented as elite and professional, linking military strength with royal power. Overall, the source helps show that the Persian warfare depended on preparation, discipline, and the ability to fight as part of a coordinated army. The Achaemenid army was organized in a way that reflected the scale of Persian imperial power. Rather than relying on one uniform force, the Persians used different ethnic groups, regional troops, cavalry, infantry, archers, and elite guards, which allowed them to adapt to different terrains and enemies. In the secondary source, AF Marks illustrates tactical coordination through combined arms deployment, with archers initiating engagements from the center while cavalry executed flanking maneuvers, supported by the elite Immortals who served as both Imperial Guard and Strategic Reserve. This is important because it shows warfare was tied to empire management, not just battlefield fighting. Overall, it shows that the Persian military success came from organizational skills, rapid movement, and using local resources effectively. The Battle of Opis in 539 BC was a decisive moment in Cyrus the Great's conquest of Babylon. The Nabonidus Chronicle records that Cyrus attacked the Babylonian army at Opis on the Tigris, and that after this defeat the Babylonians revolted and major cities surrendered with little resistance. This source is extremely valuable because it is a near contemporary account and gives direct evidence on how the campaign unfolded. It shows that Persian strategy, combined with military and psychological pressure, destabilized Babylonian control and encouraged collapse within. However, the chronicle is brief and does not provide a full narrative of the battle. Even so, it reveals that Persian warfare often aimed to win quickly and decisively, reducing the need for prolonged sieges. Opus demonstrates how Cyprus uses force, timing, and political advantage to expand the empire efficiently. Persian warfare changed over time as the empire expanded and faced new enemies. Early Achaemenid warfare appears to have relied on light infantry, archers, cavalry, and elite royal guards, but as the empire developed, military control became more dependent on administrative systems, regional garrisons, and the use of propaganda and royal ideology. The Cyrus cylinder is useful here because it presents Cyrus not just as a conqueror, but as a legitimate ruler chosen by the gods who restored order after conquest. This makes it a powerful primary source for understanding how warfare was linked to kingship and political control. It shows that Persian warfare evolved from conquest by force into long-term imperial control through image-making, governments, and accommodation. Overall, the evidence shows that the Persian warfare was effective because it combined mobility, organization, and political strategies. The army's weapons and training suited rapid imperial expansion while using sources like Opis to show how King Cyrus used decisive force to break enemy resistance. At the same time, the sources reveals that warfare was also about controlling how conquest was presented, not just how it was fought. Together, these sources show that Persian military power was not stable but adapting over time to support conquest, empire building, and long-term rule.